All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Madcore Hunter podcast. I got Danny with me, sipping on something with the Madcore cup. I think Jimmy got us those, right? When we went antelope
Yeah,
hunting?
he had these made. I don't
Yeah,
remember if his wife done it. Maybe I think you got the elk on
yeah.
one side. Mine's got mule deer on the back.
Mine's
Just a little
somewhere. I
water.
got it. Yeah, I got it displayed. I wasn't accusing you of anything. Yeah,
The way you said it was like it's sipping on something.
sipping on Jim Bean.
Yeah,
I'm seasoned. What's been going on?
man, it's been such a strange weather here. I'm in Williston, North Dakota right now for work, and it's hit like 65, 70 degrees today. It's just like there's a little bit of snow here, but it's melting pretty fast now. I think it's supposed to be right back into below zero tomorrow, but it's just been crazy. Wyoming still don't have no snow. Weather the whole time I was home the last 2 weeks, uh, prior, it was in the 50s, but high winds every day. Like the weather's great, but the wind's 30 miles an hour, so it makes it hard to get much done. I was trying to shoot. I did get to do a little bit of shooting. Enjoyed that. Just checking a couple 3 or 4 guns, making sure everything was still on and shooting through my can, which I've come to love to shoot suppressed. It's just not having to have the hearing protection. When I first bought one, I didn't think I liked it. I was all excited, got it, and it was like, this is, because movies just convince you that a suppressor is a silencer and, your gun doesn't make any noise. And then when you shoot and it still goes bang real loud, you're like, what? But
Mm-hmm.
it don't ring your bell. So you're able to
Yeah.
shoot a gun without hearing protection. And just with hunting with them, I fell in love with it. And now I actually want, I want several. I want them on multiple guns, so I don't have to even change them back and forth. But
Yeah.
hoping that the government stops having to make you go through the ATF on those. So I don't know. They got some bills in the works right now, I think, for that.
I need to get one too. Yeah, speaking of, the weather and such, it's been warm here as well. I'm not concerned about, the herding here as much, but you talked earlier in a past episode about the snow melt and such. What do you think historically? I've done research on this. You brought it up. What do you think about the antler growth this year? Not getting the lakes getting filled up. I mean, obviously
If
you could have a wetter spring to help that. Maybe it's too early to determine, but what's your
just
guess?
historically, they don't grow as well when there's not the moisture. So like snowpack is one thing. Snowpack heavily affects the moisture in Wyoming and especially like lake levels and our rivers and everything. But as long as it rains, everything will be good. It's just the more moisture that's what everybody loves. Like if you like on a bad moisture year, guys that's got, points build up and they're waiting to draw a premier area, even though they may be able to draw it, especially like in Arizona and places like that where you got 25 points, they may actually hold off if they think it's going to be a dry year because the horns won't develop as well. And the other thing is they break them off early, so like if
Mm,
you're a gun hunter hunting in October for trying to, hunt in an area that's got 350 plus bulls, you don't want to show up there with them all being broken. So that's why you hear a lot of guys talking about moisture. But a healthy spring and summer with rain will help. But the only thing that's different with that is the fact that there ain't no snow is extremely easy winter for all the animals. So they are in good health. So
yeah,
it's kind
more
of like
meat. That's what
one
we're
hand or
after,
the
right?
other,
Is the meat?
Huh?
Yeah, I said more meat. That's what we're after. Bigger
Oh,
bodies this year. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're still up in the air. We didn't put in for Wyoming. Me and Dad have been talking. I've been so focused on training for this Ironman that even with the podcast and such, I haven't been as focused. But we did sign up for TAC, Indiana, Kentucky. It was always in August, and they switched it this year to March. It's into this month, I think. I
holy
signed
cow.
sign us up for it, and I haven't been shooting, so I got to start shooting.
It's a shoot in March?
Yeah, yeah, it's,
That's
the
fast. I mean, that's
Total
now.
Archery Challenge. Yeah,
When is it?
yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah, we're in March, end of this month. Got that, or maybe it's right at the beginning of April. Might be I think it's right in between. But I think people have been asking. We are gonna be at that. I
Which
think
one is
Friday,
that 2 different
Saturday.
ones then?
Nah, they call it the Indiana, Kentucky, but it's in Indiana. It's at the farm. So if you haven't signed up, I think there's definitely still some Friday and Sunday times. Anybody listen to this? But I think Saturday's pretty well booked. Um, and also I missed Pennsylvania. There was still some stuff, but I don't think we're going to go to Pennsylvania this year. Kind of want to leave the summer open a little bit more. Um, we're working on another lease possibly. So that would be more food plotting, this and that. And then we might travel somewhere else for a tack. I wouldn't mind just sending it to one of the Western state tacks, or there's one up in the upper UP. They call it like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, but that one looks pretty cool. Just kind of go to a different one. Pennsylvania's great. That's what I tell everybody, but we've done it the
I
past
was
2 or 3 years.
I was
Mind
listening
switching it up.
one of the guys I listen to, his name's Jake Downs. He's got a podcast called, Earn Your Hunt, and, he was talking about he's not too far from me. I was sort of thinking about maybe trying to hit that shoot, but he was saying all you guys that go to TAC, if you don't want lines and still have a good course to come there. Shadden's a very small town in
Yeah.
Nebraska, but he's going to have 3 different courses with 12 or 15 targets. But I've shot over there at a bow shoot. I think it was right in the vicinity before, and it's in the hills and you know in the pines and stuff like that, and it's a pretty good shoot. So I may try
You
to
know,
hit that. That's early June, I think, June
yeah.
13th and 14th.
Thinking of some news, I think I'll have enough of these made where we can get a couple on the website or just reach out to us. Obviously, this is just a prototype, but lady I'm having doing these sent me this. See what you think. Um,
Right on.
can you read that? Matt, I put
Yeah,
the shotgun shell there and the pheasant. So that's going to be kind of the upland hat.
like it.
Um, I'm having see how they turn out because that's a lot of embroidering with the pheasant and such and switching it up. But if there's extra, we'll throw them on the website or hit us up. I think they had so many hats there, and I worked out a deal with them because Blaze Orange is getting hard to find with Richardson.
Yeah, that you
It's
can't ever
weird.
seem to get it in the same brand as like these hats that we got being made and stuff.
Yeah, and
So
we like the
it's,
112s, and I think that's what they had. So
yeah, I
I'm
was
getting
asking the last time I was in.
yeah, but hit us up on anything like that. I'm getting some made with just this, your logo as well. Um, but yeah, if you guys are wanting to shoot tack this summer, you got to sign up. In fact, you're late on some of them already, but like July, August area, quite a few there up north. You can still, and if you have to, of course, there's traveling and such, but they usually start Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like what we had to do last year, because I barely missed the cutoff. But Pennsylvania is so popular that it'll sell out within the first like couple days. Is I think we shot Sunday, but we just went Saturday, and there's so many booths and vendors that we just ran around Sunday. You can go over to the range, and they've got so many targets set up, and you can do like I don't know your pay to shoot type deals. Like if you obviously there's a caribou everybody knows about. If you hit the 11 ring or inside the 11 ring, you get entered to draw. Usually there's a truck sponsored by like Bear Archery or something. It's pretty cool. They jack it up and everything. But they're a good time. I recommend them. Get you tuned up. I need to need to start shooting, man. This one's right around the corner.
Yeah, that's early, man. Did they do that to move out of the heat since
Yeah,
they
it
were
was
shooting in
miserable,
August?
dude. Yeah, it was awful.
I remember it was really bad last year.
Yeah, I had there was a couple complaints. I mean, obviously the weather's the weather. I mean, we'll first review that, but just all the people and such. So hopefully this year isn't as bad. I think we're just shooting one. Really, I just want to see the vendors shoot one, and there's a couple guys we're gonna meet there and such. But keep that in mind for tax. Uh, I don't know. We'll make an appearance. Maybe me and you can get together on one. I need to talk with you. Maybe we could come up there. There's one in South Dakota.
Yeah. I'd be, as long as it was when I was off, I'd be for it.
Yeah. But we'll look at that. This is stuff's coming up. That's kind of what I want to talk about this episode. Like it's March and maybe it's just me, but like you have to really start prepping. And for you guys that want to work out outside and get your walks in and runs, like it's getting warm enough. Like you need to start thinking about getting in shape, getting your gear. They're running sales. For I think Academy had like a big sale day. My wife was
Really?
telling me like 90% off some stuff. I don't know how much, related or hunting and such, but it's prep season, which it always is pretty much right after the fall. I don't know. It's a little bit different when the time changes because we're recording this on the day that time changed.
Yeah. It's it's so funny because, like, I try to keep up with new gear coming out and stuff like that, but yet I'm also kinda in the mood where I'm trying to stop buying new gear. Like, I'm pretty well set in what I have for clothing and everything, but still keep an eye on it. But I'd noticed that Kafaru just dropped clothing. Um,
Ah,
I don't know much about it. It looks one of their pants looks pretty cool, and they got like a wool material lighter shirt that I assume I would like. It'd be like what I use at first sight. Heard Born Primitive, where Snyder went to, is going to drop packs coming up pretty soon. So
mm.
that'll be interesting. They've been dropping all kinds of new stuff. They came out with some shoes and boots and everything. They're a pretty big company.
I feel like we're pretty similar. I have a good base foundation of I have everything I need. Like from here, it's just if I can do little upgrades to help my game. But man, I've got a lot in gear and I'm very blessed for that. But I'm almost in the opposite. I brought up kind of last year, but I'm really wanting, of course, I want to get this race done. Uh, I can't do it out west, but I want to try recurve for a whitetail this year, at least maybe one state. And then I'll still shoot the compound, take that out west. But I'm more of in a reverting mood, because I
It's
listened to Cam's podcast the other day. He had Ultra View guy on. It was a good podcast, but I just don't like a little bit of where archery's going. I know there's inflation, but dude, I mean, we're getting to where sights are as expensive as bows used to be. And
yeah, they've
and I'm willing to pay for good gear. Like I have gear to prove it, but at the same time, I think we have to be careful with all that.
yeah, I mean, it's tough because, like, I really like the looks of those dial sights. I won't touch them. 'Em. They're
They're 700
$700.
bucks.
Like,
Yeah, 700 bucks.
I ain't doing it. I mean, already think I spend crazy amount on a sight, but I mean, it's twice as much, you know?
I
And I
always
mean, just
said
everything is so expensive with them anymore. Just is.
I always
But
said if Hoyt dropped a 90-pound bow, I would buy it. And for one, it's still I don't think it's quite as much as a carbon, but I think it's like 1,700. It's up there. And then two, I don't know if I'm I wouldn't say I'm not strong enough, but it would be hard on me right now because my training is different. I'm into endurance and I'm not as big as I was when I was saying that. Like I was more doing heavy lifting and upper body and shoulders, but uh
I went
physically and
to
then
I think I might have mentioned this before, but I went to banquet recently and was thinking they had a Hoyt, and I was like, "Oh, I'll bid on it." They said you could trade it in and get, they had the small carbon there, but they were like, you can upgrade it or move it around with whatever bow you wanted from Hoyt. And I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll get a Hoyt, so I can try it out." Like, I had my bidder number in my hand. I didn't even touch it. It blew by 2,000, and I was like, "Nah, no way at all."
yeah.
I was thinking, if it went for a grand maybe or something, maybe get a deal. You don't get no deal on those things.
No, it's crazy, man, what they're costing, but I don't know. I got a good setup that'll get it done. What about shed hunting? Have you been doing any shed hunting?
Not a lot. I was I was wanting to go when I was in Wyoming, but like I said, I I'm getting older and I do pick and choose my days a little bit. If there's a 30-mile-an-hour wind, I'm like, yeah, I don't really need to go walk around in 30-mile-an-hour winds. It just gets, but living in it, it's just always so windy and annoying there in Casper. I try to pick days when it's calm and get out. But anyway, long story short, I did not get out, but I got on the horses and a little bit, and I'd say the next time that I'm home, I'm going to try to take them on a little bit of a trip. But I finally, even after I'd went, I thought I was all settled on gear with my saddles and had them all fixed up and everything. And then I dove into it again. I still, even some of the new stuff was too small. So when I end up having to go spend a bunch more money at the local tack store trying to get everything, but I've got 3 saddles all squared away now and everything adjusted for the 2 bigger horses. So kind of excited about that. And
Yeah.
dude, they're just fast. Like it's I love it. They're going to be way quicker than what I had, which is a huge help because it was like anybody could walk with me with my other horses. It seemed like these horses you're gonna have to run, you know.
Well, they'll buck quicker too.
They're bigger, so these 2 could definitely buck somebody off. I know the other
Oh, I
ones were
know.
small enough that they had a little bit of hard time trying to buck me off. They still could, but
Yeah.
it was a little harder on them.
No,
So,
yeah. Well, we'll that's another thing too. We need to ride more this summer. I'm trying to leave my summer open to just be able to prepare more, be healthy for out west. I've had a couple spurts where I'll get sick, I think it's from training and such, and like when the seasons change, sometimes I struggle, but
you
leaving the
gotta st
summer open, would you?
about a month before you leave on a trip, you need to stop being around people. I
I
mean,
know, man. I
that's what helps me. Little kids that are in school, just like they just get you sick all the time, or just going in places where a lot of people going in gas stations and messing around. I feel like you can get you sick. Just any of those places, man.
Yeah, I mean, for work, I have to travel a lot, and obviously, yeah, that's gas stations and all the above. But it seems like, yeah, the kids get back in school, and like the weather, you might have a couple. I don't know. It seems like that's a good time for me to get sick, and I gotta
Yes,
really prevent that this year because I won't. That this last trip was tough, and I felt so bad, Dad getting sick, but like I won't do it again. Probably that sucks, man. When you're out there and
it's
wasn't
horrible.
too bad for me, but, like, dad got sick and just, I wouldn't say that's the reason for anything, but it just, makes the trip less enjoyable because 'cause we've always said it's a vacation for us too, I mean, there's work that comes with it and this and that, but it's a good time, you wanna enjoy it, but, I don't know, we got turkey season coming up, I do wanna have some guests on for that, this has been just a dry spell, me and you were talking before we got on here, just not a lot going on. I did wanna get somebody that coyote hunts and such, but, that kinda fell through, and I've just been training a lot. I haven't been shed hunting like I should.
That's what I was gonna ask if you'd got out at all. Like I've been out a few times here in North Dakota. Was hoping to get out a couple times while I'm here, but I haven't found anything. I ran into a a yearling. Well, it was a calf, but a male moose, little button bull or whatever you want to call him. The last time I went shed hunting, and that moose didn't want to leave. Like we just did a circle around each other at about 15 yards. So I got some pretty cool pictures of him. But it was obvious he'd been kicked off from his mama during breeding season because she wasn't anywhere around. But, I've seen quite a few moose. Zach and I were driving down a road. We'd went in and was looking for horns in an area and stuff. Went for a little bit of walk and we were coming out. I'm pointing. There's a calf in the road, and as I got real close to her, I was slowing down and I realized that there was was a mom just across the fence, and they come up. I tried to let them go across, just not to cause any more problem. And the cow spooked after she crossed the fence, goes back across. Then the calf got hung up in the dang fence. I thought we were going to have to cut the fence. He finally got it figured out and stepped off. They're so goofy, man, because their legs are so
Mhm.
long, especially those calves. And he was all
Yeah.
hung up. It looked bad. And I was getting ready. I had, some bolt cutters in the truck. I'm like, I'll go get him out. But luckily he got it figured out and got out of there. But it was kind of funny. I was like, I stopped on the road just to keep you from pushing you into a fence and then you do it yourself.
I know, man. The road and the fences. I remember seemed like more, kinda growing up, you'll come to a fence, like, see a coyote that had tried to jump, and, like, the back leg got hooked up, or, there's been some guys that have had some big bucks get hung up in a fence. I think it was, I was watching a shorter reel the other day that, that was heard my son come in. They got hung up in a fence. It was like a 200-inch buck. They had been
Yeah.
watching. I think they passed on him, or he would have been a 200 or something. They passed on him, and that'd be tough, man, to pass on a bu I mean, you're already fighting neighbors and all the above, and to have him get hung up in a fence, or, sometimes even trees when they're rubbing that'd be devastating.
Yeah. I know the pheasant population. Well, I mean, they're starting to be out. They'll breed here shortly. So, um, starting to just see a lot of roosters out. I don't know how soon they do. They early spring, late winter, they start chasing each other around here and have fights. So we see a lot of them all spurred up together. They
Yeah.
lock their feet together and dancing all around. But no, I hope to get out quite a bit with the horses when I'm home. The elk haven't dropped yet. They're getting close, but I talked to somebody here and he's got whitetail still packing here in North Dakota. He said
It's
he's
so
seen it's like 6 or 8 like 8 bucks together, and only 2 of them were missing one side. This was 2 weeks ago.
it's so weird. So we got feeders out for turkey right now. Check the camera, and you'll see a small buck with horns still on. Then you'll see something with a big body where there's nubs. So it's all over the place, and
Yeah,
dad's found we were leaving one of the properties the other day, and he looked out there, he's like, "Just saw one." And, he picked it up and he looked over and there was the other one. It was just like a small 8, but he found a set. I think he's found another, maybe a couple. He's had more times to walk than me. I'm training so much right now that I'm probably not gonna find any sheds. That's just you have to make sacrifices, and that's one that I made, because if I'm not running, biking, or swimming, I've gotta be resting, because there's
yeah.
just so much.
I know that, I had to laugh because I drive so much. I drive 150, 200 miles a day with work, but, looking at some sites, and had 2 other guys that I was meeting, and I send them on to a different site. And I went to this other one and was looking at it, and he called me and there was a problem on the site, and they're asking me about something. And he's like, "Oh, by the way," our locator, he's a big hunter and buddy of mine that I talk to all the time. And I had asked him right before I sent him to that site. I was like, "You found any sheds? Any more sheds since the last time I talked to him?" He's like, "Ah, one little dinker." Those guys found a road shed driving down the road right after they left me. And it just
Yeah.
happened to be like the where he was at, it was ended up being some family property, so he was able to go get it. It wasn't a big shed, but it was just I was like, "Daggone it," 'cause I
Yeah, I
hadn't
know.
found any.
I know, man. I enjoy shed hunting too. It's a good time to get out, exercise, and I take the dog and this and that, and it's you can kind of scout, but I just haven't had the time. But I will.
Yeah,
I
we
will.
we drove today. I was running around with Zach, um, got some stuff changing up here, and I'm probably gonna have to help out on covering some work that him and his relief work on. So was riding around with him, and we went and checked out a piece of state that was fairly close to one of these well sites because it had real big terrain in it, big old gully in it. And we thought, oh, that'd be a cool spot to but we figured out how to get in there and stuff, and it's not really marked, but I mean, the road takes you right to state. I think we might be able to check it out and do a little backpacking in some real rough country.
Yeah,
Did kind of mess around today trying to find a new spot.
be good. Be good. Man, what else is going on? I'm a little bit I've been off social media still, so I haven't been keeping up with everything. Um, what hunts are you going on? I know it's kind of, but like, what's your plan? Because we haven't decided what we're doing, and like, we'll probably do a podcast on this upcoming kind of our hunts this year. We kind of talked about it, but are you just Wyoming? Are you looking to do something else?
Uh, it's probably gonna be I don't have anything special planned. It's probably fairly normal for me is, in Wyoming here, and which just sucks because you don't find out I won't find out anything until, a little bit later. I mean, elk don't happen until June basically for me to find anything out. I'll be able to find out on I need to look at that actually.
When do I have to put in for Colorado? I
I don't
forget.
know. I was gonna ask you that. I don't know. I don't hunt Colorado.
I don't either. I've hunted Colorado. Well, I've hunted twice, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
It's coming up.
I'd have to look. I think I have to be in for moose and, can't put in for sheep. I can put in moose and goat because sheep went to once in a lifetime after I killed mine or right at that same year, so I am ineligible to, put in for the sheep draw. I'd have to draw it on, like, a special tag, like a
I don't put
not
in.
one you can put in, but like a lottery tag. It's the only way I could get a sheep tag in Wyoming.
I don't even
So,
put in.
I can't complain. I killed a nice sheep, so, um
Do you have points in Colorado or any other state?
No, I bought points a couple years in Colorado, but basically what I determined that, is even with this job, dude, I got 2 weeks off, you know, 12 days, I guess, because I work 2 weeks on travel at the end of both of that, and so I end up with 12 days off, and it seems like, oh, yeah, that's a ton of hunting. That's a little hard to hunt 2 states in September with a job even with my job, and I can't complain because I get that full block off. But that's the only reason I don't put in is because it would be very hard unless I just didn't have a job to hunt multiple states for elk.
Well, I
The
didn't know if maybe
whitetail
just
the whitetail I do because, like, North Dakota, I've had a lot of luck in September or October, so and that season runs till January, and I'm able to get an archery tag in North Dakota most years. So, I usually have time to hunt that and still take, like, November and go back east somewhere. So I don't know.
yeah.
I know I'll go somewhere back east, but I don't know, exactly what I'm doing yet there.
Yeah. I I don't know if I'm going to, of course I liked Kentucky, but I need to focus maybe a little bit more getting over to Illinois a little bit earlier. Um which um obviously it's thankful to Rob for letting us come over, but he's acquired some more property and gonna try to get over in October a couple times. Even if I'm, obviously hopefully I'm chasing one here in Indiana, and I think I really wanted to get it done in Indiana first. That way I was just free, but like this doesn't always work that way. You just play so much cat and mouse, and it's so much easier to hunt when you're just here. So I need to just designate some trips over there, kind of regardless of what's going on. I mean, unless I just have one patterned to the T, I just need to make myself because we, I have a lot of properties around here. Usually I got 2 or 3 bucks that I'd be very happy with. And
Yeah.
it's hard to leave those sometimes, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Our plan is, we're going to either go back to Utah or Colorado, and then I'm going to hunt for sure Indiana, Illinois, probably Kentucky because I already have the tag or the license because of turkey, so we're gonna turkey hunt Kentucky and Indiana again. It's just it's nice to go over there. I enjoy hunting Kentucky. And then in between train a little bit and, we might be getting another lease. So more, kind of focus a little bit more on food plots, stand preparation, cutting paths in. You know how it goes. It's just there's some preparation. Like I could have a very busy summer with all the
For sure.
properties, and getting stands preset. I have that lone wolf and it's nice to hang and hunt, but if we pick up another piece of property and we're kind of established, it's really nice to just have a good stand already there. Like getting in and out is, and you want to do it quietly. Like it's obviously quieter to get in and out of a ladder stand than it is a hang and hunt. It just is. I mean, even though the hang
Oh,
and hunt's
yeah.
pretty quiet, less time, energy, all the above. So that's probably more of a goal for me this summer. And then obviously spending time with family and little man is getting at the point where he can kind of come and can't do much, but he'll hang out with you.
No, that's good for him to be there, man. Really
Yeah.
is. That's how you create the love and the passion for it is they just wanna be with you right now, so it doesn't really matter what they do. They're little
Yep.
kids, they can keep their self entertained, so just have them on the tractor or in the woods with you or in the boat, whatever it is, and,
Yeah.
they'll wanna do it eventually. If they're around you wanting to do it, they'll wanna do it. And, I was I was kinda snickered when you said something about maybe hunting with the recurve again, 'cause, um kinda starting to have that itch again, but I don't I always assume I'll go to it, but I don't wanna go to it till I can set my compound down. Is
I don't know if I
because
can.
I tried it. I tried it once and, I killed an elk with the recurve and I like hunting with it, but I was carrying both. Like, I would not suggest doing that. That's just too much. I was carrying camera gear and a compound and a recurve, you
Crazy.
know? And it was just that was in the mountains even 'cause, like, hunting elk and bear, I'd set up a stand on a water hole and
Thick mountain.
yeah, like, that sucked. And then we didn't even dad double punched the record button when I shot that elk, and we didn't even get it on film. But it's a heck of a memory, but I don't know. I don't think I'm there this year, probably not. I think you could do if you dedicated like you said, maybe a state or I'm gonna shoot a whitetail with a recurve and everything else with a compound, but just recurve, I mean, to be good at it, you need to commit, solely commit unless you're shooting 20 yards and in at all times. I mean, I missed that bear. I missed the bear was my first shot at an animal off a tree stand with the recurve, and it should have been a chip shot, and I missed it by a foot, and it's like, so when I shot the elk, I'd got that miss out of the way, so I drilled the elk, but it was just like a shot with a compound. You wouldn't even have to hardly look at your sights.
And I may just be going because I went down this path kind of end of college, and I tried to shoot a turkey, and I had two huge gobblers come in right to the decoy, like 10, 15 yards, and I I, I kind of hit it, kind of didn't, like it was fine. But, I think the screen with the blind and everything jacked it up, but it's just so hard. I kicked myself after that because I'm like, "Man, it's already hard enough to shoot a turkey with a compound bow, let alone a recurve." So, like, you're kinda right, like, once you commit, you just have to be okay with the failure because it's going to rise exponentially,
Yeah.
and maybe I'm
You've
not
got
prepared for that, I don't know, but you
I
have to
think you
make a
gotta be
decision.
I don't know what they call that, but they talk about the stages of hunting where the first stage is learning it and trying to kill something, and then you go through, like the stage of trying to progress, and then you go through a stage of wanting to kill everything, and then you go through wanting to see other people kill, get animals and be successful, and you only want extremely large animals. I definitely never feel like I've got past like I like to hunt, man. Like, and I want to be successful and shoot. So that's why I haven't switched. I mean, I saw dad switch and he still shot some good animals, but that number, the quantity of animals goes down. Mm, A recurve it's tough. You gotta get close and you gotta have time. Time's the biggest thing with anything you hunt with, man, is if,
Yeah.
you know,
I hate
doing
missed
a
opportunities too, man.
yeah.
Like, I hate missed
That's
opportunities.
why
Like, I don't know.
I'm not quite there, but I think if I could get another 6 point or 2 bull under my belt with a compound, I think I could change to it, because I've had a taste of it, and I know that the success from a recurve is something ridiculous, it's just another step in hunting, it's amazing, I guess you would say.
I like challenges. Let me get past this Ironman and I'll answer the question because that's a huge challenge to me right now. But if I do it, I think it's only going to be whitetail or maybe only Indiana, and then for
Yeah.
sure the compound's going to go out west and maybe Illinois, and I just hunt Indiana with a recurve. But regardless, I'll have to dedicate a lot of time. I don't want to just pick it up. I mean, I can pick up the recurve right now and shoot a couple good ones, but are you confident that like when something steps out, you're going to anchor and put it right there? Like
Yeah,
that's the
that
confidence I need.
when I made that switch, at 20 yards, man, it was like, "This is money." But that switching to a big game animal was like that whole picking a spot or, however you do it. It was like my brain didn't click when that bear came in. It was just like big bear, awesome first shot with a recurve. I'm going to kill a 300-pound black bear, and I whiff, and it's like, what did I just do? Like I could have threw a spear, and got closer. It was like it was funny, and then the elk was just so smoked it. And the one thing that amazes me about that, because recurves are so much slower than compounds and stuff, dude, your arrow zips through animals on a recurve like it's butter. My arrow was buried in a log on the other side of the elk. The elk didn't even know it'd been hit, you know? So,
Hmm. You think because it was a two blade type or just,
well, you got a lot of times you shoot fixed heads, but you're shooting a heavier setup, you
yeah.
know? And something about, with the speed and stuff, a recurve is just quieter. It's way quieter. So much like that's one thing that is unique about a recurve is a lot of times you can miss an animal and they don't even know anything's happened. So
Yeah.
second and third shots with a recurve happen often, you
I
know.
love second and third shots.
Yes. I'm pretty good at
I've
getting
made it
there,
happen
getting
with them.
another shot. Yeah. No, I
No, not
I
with a
like it.
recurve, but
Yeah, I was thinking, so we talked best hunt and worst hunt. I did have one more question. I think you started into it on the other podcast. Was do you have a few dream hunts or like the one, the dream hunt you can't wait to do?
yeah, I try. I guess it's good to think about, but I don't think about it too much. There's multiple. It's not like I have a set fixed of like this is my dream hunt. But one that always comes to mind is caribou because I don't even know if you can still kill two, but I just feel like that would be you get the whole journey of it. They're very unique looking, like the racks, this and that. Obviously, moose. A lot of people say moose, but caribou to me would just be a really neat hunt slash journey, and you're getting to shoot two animals. Can you still kill two, right? Or not? Is it just one?
Not very many places. There's a
Okay.
few, but like what from like my dad and stuff, the Quebec Labrador, like I don't even think that hunt exists, period, anymore. They wiped
Yeah.
out that herd. There's still animals, but pretty much and I could be wrong. I haven't been able to find much information on hunting the Quebec Labrador, like the way that my dad and uncle and stuff went. That though I wish I'd have went. That was supposed to have been my like senior present and stuff. I I wish, even though that didn't happen, I still wish that I'd have made myself go then. Because I kept saying that was gonna be my first hunt, and that hunt doesn't exist anymore. I'd love to hunt caribou, but, um, I think there's still a few places in Alaska where you might be able to shoot multiple, but that
Regardless,
it's just all that stuff, man. You can go do it. on public ground in Alaska for cheaper, but you're probably not gonna kill one of those giants that you see everybody
I know.
posting. You're gonna
The
kill a smaller bull in most cases, not everywhere, but, um, I know a few people that have went up there and shot, probably 3 or 4-year-old, maybe 3-year-old caribou, but they did it on their own, brought meat back and all that stuff, so they had good trips. Um, I'd like to do that, but even, like, mountain caribou is a pretty expensive hunt now. I don't e I
yeah,
mean, it's
and
over
I
10,
mean,
I think, in most places for that,
and
probably
and
15 to 20.
I don't think about it a lot, and a lot of it's so hard because 'cause I'm so blessed. A lot of people's is elk, and I think honestly, like, you asked dream hunting, like, I know we can talk about this, I didn't think about much. Like, a dream hunt for me would be like, you know, going hunting with the whole group again, everybody being successful, and, like, I would like to get to a bull 300 plus. Even better, if you wanna get some specific with a dream hunt, like, both of us getting a 300 plus bull, like, that would be a really cool because you know, the caribou or moose or whatever, that'd be kinda like a one thing, but, like, these elk, man, we've been chasing them for so long, and we've been so close to a huge bull. Like, and I promise, like, we've been close, and it's kinda been a team effort, like, dad's been there the whole time, and at some point, it's gonna come together. So, like, I
Yeah,
guess that would be a dream hunt too, man, just, like, one of us putting down, like, a 330 plus, let's just say. A
yeah,
lot of times, we're on public grounds, like, that is a heck of an accomplishment, but to it's like, there's a lot of life lessons within a, 10-day elk hunt, but, like, if you stretch that over years, which you know this, you've got more than me hunting, but all those years kinda, like, come together to, like, a point, even with whitetail, like, people are you're gonna experience this, like, you've been chasing whitetail, and, like, everything you've picked up from season to season and this and that, like, it will come to a point and give you an opportunity. Now, whether you, um, seal the deal on that opportunity, it's another question, but, I've never had the opportunity even to shoot at an elk of that caliber. I don't know if dad has or not, maybe when you guys a long time ago had that special tag, I think
yeah, he definitely would have had some 300 type bulls in front of him. Not
yeah.
I don't I wasn't with him the first night, but I don't remember them talking about, like, I remember him talking 6 points, but I don't remember, like, "Oh, it's 350 bull," or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm talking something
We've
like
seen a
that,
few, but he
and
definitely had
and
that hunt, we had a lot of 300-inch type bulls, on us, but it was a high quality area. And the tag
yeah,
I can't draw. I haven't been able to draw for 20 years.
but that'd be a dream hunt for me, I mean, whitetail, I've been fortunate, I got a big whitetail kinda, but that's more home state, and it's not the same, it's not a group effort, but
Do you have
that's me.
any other species that you're highly interested in?
And there's obviously, yes, I mean, but it just, you at
They're
some point, you
like
just be a dreamer with all that, it takes so much
yeah. I mean,
money to do it.
I've been bad because I keep saying I'm going, and I just won't book it because when it comes down to it, it's like, "Man, what could I do with that money?" You know? Like,
What about
it's
you? I
ju
feel like you have one because I wasn't thinking about it, but you've
it's
got my
it's
answer. What about you? What's your
it's
dream hunt?
it's like all the other ones, horse hunt and best hunt. There's not I love to hunt, so there's not like "This is the hunt that I'm going to save up and go on." I always thought it
Yeah,
was moose, but moose is like I always wanted to go on horseback moose hunt into, the deeps of Alaska or British Columbia or Yukon or something, in which I ain't saying I won't, but a lot of those most of those hunts are over 30 now. I
yeah,
mean, it's just and you're talking 4 days of driving if you wanna try to get meat back, unless you can afford to ship, which is gonna cost thousands of dollars to ship 600 pounds of meat back, so it's just all money. You can go do it on your own, still gonna pay some money because you gotta pay for your flights, you still gotta drive, You still gotta get there and get out and get your meat out. I was talking to Zach a little bit about that the other day, just that we ought to just book one. I mean, not guided, but just give it a shot and go, on our own. Moose is heavy there. I have been fortunate enough to kill a moose in Wyoming, but, a Shiras doesn't compare to the Yukon or Alaskan 60-inch bull, that's quite a bit bigger animal, and I'd like to do that. Caribou was always it, but now I'd still like to hunt caribou, but it's just different because it's not the Quebec. It would be mountain caribou probably hunt that I would go on. I still got to like grizzly, even though like that's not necessarily the meat hunt per se. Just shooting a grizzly with a bow is just like the ultimate thing for a bow hunter in my mind,
I
you
thought
know?
about saying polar bear when you asked me, like, just
Mm,
go way off. Like,
yeah,
because I don't even know if I think you can still hunt polar bear, but like polar
you
bear with a
can,
bow,
but from what I know about
that's
that,
the dream
that's
hunt,
kind of
baby.
it's a I don't know. The stuff I've read on it, I don't think it's like a great hunt, you know? You're
Well,
just freezing cold and you piss off a bear until it turns and comes towards you, and then you figure out how to get a shot at it.
I think it's the only bear that will like actually hunt you. Like,
I
like
mean,
people
I
have been
seriously like
lost in the
this
Arctic Circle, like they will hunt you down.
this
I
stuff.
know, like you'll get charged by grizzlies and such, but like a polar bear will like set out and it will hunt you down, like if you were lost in the Arctic
Yeah.
Circle.
Yeah,
So it's kind of cool.
there's a lot of others. I do imagine I'll go to Africa, and that's not up everybody's alley, but, um, I don't have a I think Africa is amazing, and I wanna go see it, and I got a list of 4 or 5. I mean, obviously, I would hunt everything over there if I could afford it and stuff, but, like, I'd love to shoot a buffalo, but I don't those are on the edge of price range. They're pretty expensive, but the thing about Africa is you could go over there with, like, that 15K that you're talking about with the you know, getting into a caribou hunt, maybe like a guided caribou hunt. You went to Africa and have nice, where they stay or nice places and stuff, and you could go over there and shoot 5 animals in one trip,
Yeah.
you know? The only thing is you can't export the meat from Africa to the United States, but all those places fix all that stuff for you while you're there, so you just gotta take it in while you're there for a week to get to taste all the different game and stuff. But it's all of it's just gotta have money to play, man, and any of these big animals that you're talking about that everybody wants to hunt, it's a lot, and you gotta make sure everything's at home is taken care of if you're talking about spending tens of thousands of dollars on a hunt, because there ain't a lot you can do anymore guided that's under 10.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
good
I don't
quality elk hunts for a 350 bull guided. I mean, what's those places like Cam's hunting? They're 50 grand, 35
yeah.
to 50 grand. Like they're crazy what it is. But my biggest thing is not necessarily the animal as it is the trip. And I want to go to British Columbia, Alaska for 14 days and I would prefer to go horseback and go 30 plus miles in. That's what I want. I want the adventure of the hunt. No matter, and I think mountain goats is kind of like mountain goat is not something that I'm like, I want to shoot one, but they're not an animal that attracts me a whole bunch. I prefer something with horns, caribou or moose, but goat are kind of the most reasonably priced out of like the Alaskan game. And you could do those with a bow. And that's the other thing. Like going to Alaska, I want to shoot a moose with a bow, but I don't know if I'm paying that much cash. I probably got a rifle in my hand. You know,
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I try not to think about it too much, but I love to hunt. So no matter what it is, like I would love to go Hawaii and access deer hunt. Like I would hunt year round if I had the money and the ability. So I guess it comes to finances. But as long as I'm hunting something with the people I love to hunt with, I'm gonna be happy. Like fortunately, we're not into the very expensive, traveling around this and that. But I've been fortunate enough to have 3 whitetail tags in some of the better states in the Midwest that people will probably pay quite a bit to have the places I have. I've been able to go elk hunting and kills. Man, for where I'm at in life, of course, I'm a lot younger than you and such. I'm very fortunate, so I don't wanna, don't mistake, the dream hunts and this and that for not being happy with where I'm at, but
Yeah,
it's fun to dream.
I mean, they're called dream hunts mostly because we can't afford them. Like, you either gotta work extremely hard to try to make it happen on your own, and even then,
Yeah.
it's still like, you're still talking. Even if you go on your own to Alaska, you're still talking 7 to 10 grand probably for that's even to chase caribou probably.
Yeah.
Just because of the logistics of getting there. I mean, you're talking 2 days of driving in a vehicle to get
Then
to
you might not
Alaska.
kill. Like,
Yes.
you might not kill. Like, that's
That's
the
the other
thing.
that's the
A
thing with
lot of
the
times.
paying
Yeah.
fit talking tens of thousands of dollars with it's hunting, brother, and chance.
Yeah.
There is no guarantee unless you're going to high fence, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
But
obviously,
it's
we love more than just the kill, but in a sense, that 10 to 15, you have to be is, if you struck a match and lit it on fire, like, is it gonna change your life that much? Because
I look at a lot of stuff like that I when I purchase something is I look at it in the frame of how many days that I have to work to buy that gun, to buy that
yeah,
boat. I look at almost everything that I buy. How long did it take me to make the money to afford that? You know,
it's a good way
because
to
that's
look
something
at it.
you got to be okay with because, working somewhere for 9, $10 an hour or something, you put in a lot of time and you want to go buy $1,000 worth of Sitka. Was that worth a month of work? Like you
I tell you
definitely have,
another one to think about, other people, and I was only able to do this once, but it was really neat, and you'd have to do it with the right, or I guess at this point, be guide. We knew people with spearfishing. Like, I know it's kinda other end of the spectrum, but it's to me, it's underwater hunting,
yeah.
and that was right there for me with elk hunting. Like, it was so neat because it's a journey too, like, you're going, getting certified and, like, you're going, 90 feet down, and there's more ocean than there is land, and, that was neat too, man, and it's something that's not extremely hard on your body. Like, you could do that type of stuff for a long time.
Yeah. I
So,
I think I mentioned this in one of the last podcasts about best hunt is there's something like I've got those certain big game species that most people dream of, that I just mentioned. But like you threw in there was Hawaiian axis deer. I could get behind that because it would be a new species. There's something about that's why I want to go to
yeah,
Africa. Africa draws me so much because I just want to see those animals somewhere besides the zoo, you
yeah.
know. See
No,
them in their natural habitat.
no, I'm right there with you, and, it's also the off season. I think you hunt axis deer, like, January area.
It
It's
may
like
be
there's nothing else to do.
summertime, actually. I
I
don't
think
know
it's
that
all year round, but a lot of guys do it in January. I think if you
because
look at.
I just seen, I don't know if that was a Hush that's working with I don't think it was a Go Hunt, maybe Go Hunt. They were giving away an axis deer hunt if you bought stuff from them, you could get entries. They were giving away a hunt, but I don't think that hunt's happened this year. I think it's supposed to happen in the summertime, June.
I I wanna say you can hunt them all year round, but a lot of guys do it in January because there's nothing else to do. It's something that, keeps hunting shows going and such, but
The other one I
yeah,
keep seeing is big mule deer in Mexico in January.
yeah,
Like, I think that could be interesting if you could find the right price go on a hunt. I haven't really been too much guided. My sheep ended up I hunted multiple weeks, on my own with friends, family, but the day I killed, I was with a guide, but it wasn't like we packed in somewhere. He knew about a sheep that I knew about, and I decided to help him, or to go with him so he could help me. And like I stayed the night before at his house because I'd pulled out of the mountain and went and talked to him. And he's like, "Yeah, I got a place to stay." And we went the next day and we killed it. Like, had we not got that sheep, I would have got hooked up with him and we'd have hunted the rest of the season together, because he had some other sheep he knew about, but this one sheep was accessible in a day from the road. So, that's really my only experience with guide hunting. And I would just like to go on some hunts to pay. You're going to pay that money to access country that there's not other public land hunters or
Yeah,
anything. That I want to go to some place where there ain't nobody but us in there.
I
I
know.
want to experience that because I
Yeah,
don't get it unless you're on 50 acres somewhere and there shouldn't be anybody there, besides you.
yeah, I think I would love to find that too, like a trespass fee or anything. And then you brought up New Mexico, Arizona's kind of the same. The mule deer rut during December, January area. It's kind of like
Yeah.
October, November for us. And I graduated early from college. I almost just sent it to Arizona because you could get an over the counter tag. It was like 400 some bucks. It was a heck of a drive, but to bring the meat back in such dry, but I couldn't find anybody to go, and I really didn't have the vacation. And but I almost went on that because yeah, you can hunt them in December or January.
Yeah. There's a lot of opportunities, but it ain't getting cheaper, man. So you've got to want to do this and have a desire because it's only going up. And
Rich man sport.
yeah, I mean I keep leaning and leaning more and more towards trying to get my own property bought for whitetail just because it's going to be gone eventually. I mean, it's
Oh
not
yeah,
gone. It's just you're going to have to own property or I mean, it's still always going to be there, but you're going to have to be willing to pay the money. And it's like if I got to pay a bunch of money, I might as well be paying off a loan, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the best idea is, but I see it. It's happening out west. You see it with prices you're paying everywhere as non-resident. That's why, like, I'd like to live somewhere different than where I live. But anytime that we talk about that, I bring up, well, am I willing to not have an elk tag and an antelope tag and a mule deer tag every year?
yeah.
So that to me is worth a lot of money, even though
Here's the
it's
thing.
general and I'm hunting right beside everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll tell you, like the mule deer and antelope wouldn't. It's the elk, and you have a good spot for elk. But I mean, I'm I'm still able to hunt elk every year, and it's not as good
For
a
now,
spot,
for
Yeah,
now.
for now, So
I mean, the sad thing is I hate even telling people that, but I don't think you're not too many years from that not being the case. I hate
yeah.
that. But that's why I'm a member of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and donate a ton of money there trying to put more elk on the landscape, as Randy Newberg would say. Um,
Mhm.
because they're putting elk got them in Pennsylvania and several states back east and get those numbers up. They get in the huntable populations. I mean, I put in for Kentucky for elk. I put in for Oklahoma for elk.
Hey, maybe I'll
I'd
join
I
Kentucky this year.
I would I would do a ton of work to be able to hunt elk here in North Dakota because they grow them huge here, man. And every year the only way I could hunt elk here because it's a once in a lifetime tag for residents as a non-resident, but the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation raffles one off, so I get into that heavily. I did not draw the 4 sheep tags. I was pretty disappointed.
Ah,
Yeah, that one happened. There was a guy from Nebraska drew
yeah,
4 sheep,
Nebraska.
all 4 species. That
Somebody said
that
because we go ahead.
I was just gonna say that. I mean, that was literally a lottery. That package was worth $360,000 to be able to hunt those 4 sheep. That's what a dream hunt costs right there. If you wanted to hunt sheep, there's 4 of them.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'd be neat to hunt elk in Kentucky. Somebody said, "Oh, I wouldn't want to hunt in Kentucky. I want to go out west and hunt 'em." Well, I've hunted them
They
out
still
west.
bugle, and it's
Yeah, I
still in the
say
hills, and it's not cold.
it'd be neat in Kentucky to hunt elk.
They grow them big, man. The acorns and everything that they feed on, like they're big, healthy bulls there, man.
They
I
say
would
the new
love to
world
go.
record will come out of Kentucky.
I have no
They
doubt.
do.
Look, like you think of the feed that they get there. I would love to hunt Kentucky elk.
Yep.
one of these years I'll draw it.
If I draw it, I'll bring you.
Call it in and videotape.
That'd be neat. That would be
It
neat.
would be.
Well, we're at an hour. Have we dreamed enough?
Never. It's every day, man. It's every
I
day
know.
that I think about how I could afford to go on a moose hunt.
Okay, here's one last question for you. I just thought of this.
Okay.
I'll just up it. 115-inch whitetail or 350-inch bull?
350 elk.
Really?
Yeah. I don't I mean, the whitetail would be awesome, but it's not even in the I don't know why, but, like, I love a big whitetail like anybody else, but I'd much rather shoot a big elk because I know what that hunt experience is gonna be. It's not sitting in a tree stand waiting for the deer to come by me,
I think you're
most
right.
likely.
I would pick that one too. I would say it's harder to kill the 215-inch whitetail, probably, but
Well,
I
yeah,
would
I
pick the
mean,
bull
people
too.
kill 350 bulls all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just not me. It's people that get to pay
Come on.
money for nice ranches or draw good tags for the most part. There's a few guys on public land
Maybe
that
I
kill
should have
some
upped it
nice
to
ones.
375, but I figured
I
that
don't
was
know. When you get to start talking those numbers, 350, if you said like, yeah, to even make like I still chose elk, but to put it in the same realm, you probably need to say 390 or 400-inch elk on that question. Could to
yeah,
compare
I
it
was
to
thinking
what
it
a
was probably a
200
little,
inch 400 and 200 probably very similar between those two. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Whitetail, it's like once you get past 200, I think whitetail just don't look real. Like, I think I told you that on one of these podcasts that a whitetail is supposed to be a 135-inch 8 point. That's what they're genetically
yeah.
supposed to be. So, I mean, the elk is probably supposed to be a 300 to 320 bull, 6x6.
Right
I
on.
don't know. Love it all. All right, I'm
I
ready to
know.
go chase elk tomorrow if you want.
I know, man.
They still
Yeah,
got horns. They're not bugling though.
that's all right. They'll
Turkeys are
make
already
some type of
gobbling at the
sound.
house though.
Yeah,
I
turkey
I heard
season's next. Maybe we'll get somebody on here for turkey. I'll have some turkey stories hopefully, and we'll kick it off. It's spring's here, man. It's almost here at least as far as the calendar date goes, but weather-wise, spring's here. So, all right. Well, appreciate everybody listening. We'll see you guys next week on the study, and then we'll be back talking about dream hunts the following week. So, Danny, appreciate you, man.
later.